How's it going, everybody? We're back with the Bad Batch episodes 12 and 13. I didn't feel like episode 12 warranted its own video, and even after watching episode 13, I was kind of disappointed with both episodes. But let me know in the comments if you think these plots sound familiar. So episode 12 was called The Juggernaut, and this was right after Omega had been recaptured by the Empire in episode 11. Now, she gave herself up on purpose with the plan in mind that Crosshair would be able to track her and it would lead the Bad Batch to Mount Tantiss. Of course, that didn't work out, and so going into episode 12, Hunter and Wrecker are of course angry at Crosshair for letting her go, even though it was kind of justified given the fact that the Empire was going to destroy Pabu Island. And Omega's plan was sound theoretically, and it would have worked out if Crosshair hadn't missed his shot. And so the Bad Batch is kind of back to where they were in episode 2, or even all the way back to the end of season 2, where they have no idea how to find Omega. But Crosshair believes that he knows someone who might be able to find Mount Tantiss, and that person is Admiral Rampart, who in season 2 was imprisoned for basically lying to the Empire about what he did to Tipoca City, even though he was working hand in hand with the Emperor. Admiral Rampart is currently in a labor camp on the planet Erebus, and with Fee as the transport, they managed to go to that planet and basically free him with the agreement that he's going to give them the information to find Mount Tantiss. However, at the end of the episode, he reveals that he has no idea where it is, but he might know somewhere where he can get the information. So that's why I didn't cover the episode in its own video, because really nothing happened. The Bad Batch weren't any closer to getting the information at the end of the episode than they were at the beginning. And as for Omega, she was kind of back to where she was in episode 1, where they basically recontinued the testing. Of course, now they know that she is testing positive for the M count. And she even gets introduced to the vault, which I don't believe existed, or at least I don't think those children specimens were there at the beginning of season 1. Or they were and they just didn't show that to us. In episode 13, titled Into the Breach, Admiral Rampart leads the Bad Batch to a docking station right outside Coruscant, where he believes that they can find the coordinates to Tantiss as they're being uploaded to a science vessel. So Rampart, posing as an Imperial captain and the Bad Batch as his guard, sneak into the docking station and find out that the coordinates aren't just sitting there in the database, that they won't be uploaded until the science vessel is ready to take off. So they have to change their plans, and Echo sneaks aboard the science vessel and has to turn off the proximity sensors so the Bad Batch can attach their ship to the science vessel and basically hitch a ride to Mount Tantiss. And of course, Echo manages to do it at the very last second. And so episodes 12 and 13 saw some very daring escapes, which was kind of fun, but again, the substance of the episode isn't really there. And in terms of Omega in episode 13, she is once again trying to escape, this time with the help of the 4 test subjects, or I guess just 3 of them because one of them is an infant. And so episodes 12 and 13 to me amount to little more than snatch and grab stories. And if you remember back to episode 2, that's exactly what it was. It was Hunter and Wrecker trying to find information on Omega. They go to that Imperial lab planet with all the living vines, and they managed to save those young clones, except that didn't go anywhere. They took them to Pabu Island, but that didn't really progress into anything else. And so episodes 12 and 13 to me are just repeating what we already saw in episodes 1 through 3. Now, looking back, episode 1 was pretty boring. It was slow. It literally had repeating scenes of Omega and Dr. Carr doing the same thing over and over. Episode 2 was kind of fun, but again, it was filler because they didn't end up being any closer to finding Omega than they were at the end of season 2. And then episode 3 was good, but really that should have been episode 1. And these 2 episodes imply to me that the season finale isn't going to be great because they're rehashing old material, and unfortunately, a lot of the episodes in between just weren't that exciting. A lot of them were filler, and I keep watching them because I think this is the last season. They're going to leave everything on the table, but now I'm wondering if they even had anything in the first place. I think Dr. Hemlock is an interesting character. I think the Shadow Troopers are an interesting concept. I think Project Necromancer could be interesting. I think they sowed the seeds for these interesting concepts in season 2, but it seems to me like they didn't have a fully fleshed out plan going forward. But I'll hold my final judgment after the finale. There's 2 episodes left, so if they're going to do anything, it'll be in those. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, if you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate it if you would hit that like and subscribe button, as well as the notification bell so that you never miss out on a new video. Thanks for watching.